What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Dana White teases huge events and reveals pay-per-view is not done. After news of the UFC's new deal with Paramount came to light, Dana White quickly hopped on CBS Sports to discuss the situation with CBS Sports' Tommy Tran, giving fight fans a clearer picture of what the future will look like as the promotion transitions away from a pay-per-view model. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. From the sounds of things, the UFC is going to host 4 big events a year, such as the annual International Fight Week card or the 2026 White House card.
Can you tell us about how much the UFC will be on CBS, linear TV, with the country watching?
Yeah, it's looking like we're going to do 4 big events a year. And, we're talking about doing a fight at the White House next year on the 4th of July, the 250th anniversary of America. So imagine a massive fight on the lawn of the White House on CBS.
He also explained, if you look at the moves Paramount is making right now and the content that they just locked up South Park. They have Yellowstone, Mobland, which is a big hit, Tulsa King, and the list goes on and on. So not only if you're a UFC fan do you get away from the pay-per-view model, now you just pay $12 or $13 a month, whatever it is, and you get all this programming, plus all the UFC content. In recent weeks, there have been tons of speculation about how things would shake out with the UFC's new broadcasting rights deal, with some fans predicting that the UFC would likely stay with ESPN, and others predicting a shakeup, given that Netflix was in the mix. Once the WWE signed with ESPN, many predicted that the UFC would follow suit. However, according to TKO CEO Ari Emanuel, once Skydance offered to purchase Paramount, it took just 48 hours for the UFC's deal with Paramount to come together. During an appearance on CNBC, he explained, "It came together in 48 hours after it was multiple players for different configurations of our content, pay-per-views, fight nights. We have 13 pay-per-views, 30 fight nights. And once the Skydance deal closed, they jumped in very quickly. And Mark and team, after we kind of figured out the economics, all the other stuff, Mark and team figured out. We've shown in the past with our ESPN deal that we drive subscriptions, which is crucial to David's strategy. While the deal is an absolutely massive one for the UFC, so far there's been no word on how champions with pay-per-view points built into their contracts will be compensated under the new Paramount deal. Additionally, from the sounds of things, despite the UFC's new deal being worth over $7.5 billion, fighters won't get a pay bump. From the sounds of things, ESPN is making moves too. As MMA Fighting's Damon Martin pointed out on Monday, the same day that both the UFC and Paramount announced their joint deal, ESPN and Fox announced a new partnership that'll see all of their channels combined into one streaming service that'll cost $39.99. While we're on the topic of the Paramount deal, Conor McGregor reacted to the UFC's new deal. Conor reacted to a tweet that showed his insane star power. Conor had 8 pay-per-views that all went over 1 million buys, with an estimated 13.3 million pay-per-view buys in total. That's insane. Conor reacted by writing, "Goodbye UFC pay-per-view, proud to serve as king." Also, while we're on the topic of pay-per-views, last night it was revealed during an interview with New York Sports that the UFC is not entirely getting rid of pay-per-views. Dana White is leaving the gate open for one-off pay-per-views. This is what he had to say. "What I love about this business is I can lay out what we think the fights are going to be for a year, and a fight will pop up that I never saw coming. A star will pop up out of nowhere. Anything is possible, and you could do a one-off pay-per-view. I'm going to be on pay-per-view this Saturday. Pay-per-view is not dead." So from the sounds of everything, it looks like the UFC will save their pay-per-view cards only for absolute bangers. But then that leaves us with the question of what a UFC Paramount card looks like, considering that they don't have any incentive to stack a card. If they ever want to stack a card, it'll just be a pay-per-view. It'll be interesting on how all of this will play out. Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Say I was extremely surprised this morning when I saw the news being broke that it was Paramount. I didn't even think Paramount was on the table. I didn't even think Paramount, I never even really thought about Paramount. There was a lot of speculation that we were going to end up on Netflix. Makes a lot of sense, TKO Group, WWE, but it also does make sense to spread your products across multiple different streaming platforms. But I honestly thought we were gonna end up on Netflix or maybe a YouTube TV, Prime Video. There was obviously with the landscape, with the way the landscape looks right now, there are a million different streaming platforms. Obviously, there's a lot of money being talked about. UFC making a ton of money on this deal, $7.7 billion compared to their $1.5 billion deal just 5 years ago. It's just the rising tide is going to raise all ships. This is going to grow the sport from a platform standpoint, from an eyeball standpoint, from a fighter pay standpoint, from a endorsement standpoint. And the fighters are going to be taken care of more, I believe. The fighters are going to be seen more, which in turn is going to help them make more money outside. So I'm just ecstatic about it. I am pumped up about it.
Sean O'Malley talks about UFC return. Fans have been eagerly awaiting updates on Sugar Sean O'Malley in the wake of his loss to Merab. Although the former champion made it clear that he wanted to take some time off immediately following the loss, it sounds like he's targeting a return in November or December. During a recent video for his YouTube channel, O'Malley outlined the rest of the year.
I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know who, but I can tell you what I think. If I had to guess, it would be November or December this year. Ideally, I'd fight one more time this year, but it's possible I don't fight again this year. It's actually possible I never fight again.
Really?
I mean, you just never know.
Oh, you don't. You really don't.
What if I snap my toe off or something?
The big question now is, who will O'Malley fight? While O'Malley could run things back with Peter Yan or throw down with Umar Nurmagomedov, both fights carry plenty of risk for O'Malley as he looks to get back in the win column. Given that, we could see the former champion fight someone a few spots below him in the rankings, like Song Yadong. Tom Aspinall reacts to rumors of Jon Jones returning for the White House card. After Jon Jones vacated the title and retired, it didn't take long for the former pound-for-pound kingpin to begin teasing a return, citing the UFC's 2026 White House card as a big motivating factor. As Tom Aspinall explained on the Ariel Helwani show, he hasn't spent a second contemplating the possibility of a fight with Jones. As Aspinall also revealed, he chose to fight Ciryl Gane in Abu Dhabi instead of in Las Vegas. I absolutely love Vegas, as you know. The problem with Vegas, it's so far away from the UK. That means you've got to leave home at least 2 weeks before, plus American taxes on top of it. I would rather fight in Abu Dhabi, which is much closer, much less travel time, 3 hours difference from the UK, and the taxes are a lot lower. Abu Dhabi is just a lot more accessible for myself, my opponent, and European fans. While Aspinall and the UFC settled on Gane, he was also interested in fighting Alexander Volkov and Jailton Almeida. Although he played coy when asked about specifics, it sounds like with a win over Gane, Aspinall could turn around and fight again on the UFC's year-end pay-per-view. As he told Ariel Helwani, "It's top secret. I'll keep it to myself, but the people will know sooner or later." Depending on how things play out between Volkov and Almeida on the card, we could see Aspinall defend the title against the winner in December if he winds up beating Gane. Michael Page predicts Khamzat will beat Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319. Leading up to this weekend's UFC 319 card, Michael Venom Page is backing betting favorite Khamzat Chimaev to get the job done. During an interview with Fred Talks Fighting, MVP broke the fight down, giving the champion his props while explaining that after seeing Chimaev train up close, it's hard to bet against him.
It's weird. The more you watch DDP, you have to kind of respect the wins that he gets, regardless of how he does it. Like I said, I just find it messy. I'm sure he trains. He's very tactical. He's very skillful, but he just looks messy. And he somehow just knows how to keep finding ways to keep winning fights and so on and so forth. So I've never really rated him in terms of like style, but he's a winner. So, you got to put massive respect to him. But Khamzat, I've actually got the privilege of watching him train. So I've seen his quality. So I would definitely put my money that way, but it's just hard to bet against it. So it's a great fight.
Heading into his fight with DDP, Chimaev is going all out when it comes to his training camp, bringing in a cardio coach to specifically help him focus on explosive nervous system training. While in the past, fans have expressed concern in regards to Chimaev's cardio, from the sounds of things, there's no need for fans to worry about the #1 contender's cardio come fight night. Despite the fact that he's heading into the fight as the champion, DDP is actually sitting as a pretty comfortable betting underdog right now. As he explained to Shaquille Majori, he doesn't care. "The only thing I care about is winning this guy. I don't care if it's Khamzat. If I was a -400 favorite, it wouldn't mean anything to me either. Odds don't make fights, fighters do." I agree with people saying that I became everything Khamzat was going to be, but that's because I'm built different. Although both fighters are heading into Saturday's bout with undefeated records in the UFC, the champion doesn't think that there are many similarities in their resumes, regardless of the fact that he has 9 wins in the UFC and Chimaev has 8. UFC updates. Ahead of this weekend's UFC 319 card, let's take a look at today's UFC updates, starting with an update to the UFC Paris card next month. According to Kennedy Freeman, she and her opponent, Yunesi Dubin, are both injured and out of their upcoming fight. Freeman posted an update for fans on Instagram, explaining the situation. "Unfortunately, my UFC debut lined up for Paris in a few weeks will not be going ahead. Myself and my opponent have both had to withdraw due to injury, wishing her a speedy recovery. I've had the worst fight camp to date, and I've had injury after injury with my rotator cuff being the final straw. I'm unable to spar, hit pads, or lift weight. My body needs time to rest, rehab, and get healthy over the next few months. I've done 3 back-to-back camps last year in Cage Warriors, and it's definitely took its toll. Sorry to all my supporters and fans who had all booked tickets for Paris, but this just a bump in the road and means an even bigger and better performance is to come. Next up, we got a new addition to the UFC Rio card on October 11th, with Vicente Luque set to fight Santiago Ponzinibbio in a welterweight fight that'll see Luque look to bounce back from a loss to Kevin Holland, while the Argentinian Ponzinibbio will look to bounce back from a loss to Daniel Rodriguez. We also have an update on Alex Pereira ahead of his upcoming fight with Magomed Ankalaev in October. According to newly released footage, Pereira is now filming Onslaught, where he portrays a villain. We also have yet another call out from Arman Tsarukyan, who is going all out in his pursuit of a fight with Ilia Topuria. In a video posted on Instagram, Tsarukyan took another verbal jab at the champion, saying that his lapdog is better behaved than him.
Good boy, good boy. Better than Ilia.
And last but not least, we got another call out from Merab, who is still hoping to fight on the UFC's 2026 card at the White House. Although he didn't call out anyone in particular, it's clear that the machine is dead set on competing at this event, after previously pointing out that although the United States doesn't have any active champions, he is a US citizen. The machine took to social media with a picture of himself standing in a cage on the White House lawn, writing, "Put me in, coach, I mean president." Before Dvalishvili's in a position to defend his title at the White House, first, he'll have to get through Corey Sandhagen. Ben Askren health update. When Ben Askren was discharged from the hospital, the former Bellator champion revealed that he still had a long road ahead and would have to relearn how to walk again. Now, in a new video posted by Askren's wife, the Olympic wrestler can be seen walking around the hospital, looking stronger than ever. Askren reposted the footage on social media, writing, "Getting my walk on." With each new update, Askren looks to be getting stronger and stronger. As he continues to work his way back to 100%, it's clear both the MMA community and the wrestling community will be by his side the entire way.
Very few rules that you have to follow, right? One is you can't hit him behind the head. You hit him behind the head, that's the biggest no-no. But if you slam him, what hits first, Shell?
The head.
Back of the head.
Back of the head.
The back of the head. So there's a reason we don't get the punch behind the back of the head. So if I'm being honest, like, I don't know that I would be opposed to that being done away with, especially in that fashion. I mean, Chill, he got up on his toes and then he just, boom. It was like The Undertaker, Kevin Nash. While slamming a person right down on their head is illegal, I would probably say I would not be too mad if they did away with that. Just the impact on the back of the head is crazy.
We have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day.